Welcome to the Mostly Pottered at Night. Mostly, I am Salem, joined by my co-host Graveyard.
Hello.
This is episode 170. That's 170 of our weekly All Things Horror podcast. This week we're having an adventure into the realm of WTF, as the kids say. All of our films this week have left more than one person scratching their head at the conclusion, wondering what it was that they just watched. So join us as we try to make sense of these films. We're doing Jacob's Ladder, John Dies at the End, and Mandy.
Yes, the original Jacob's Ladder, not the remake that came out, 2018 or something like that?
Yeah, I didn't know there was one until I looked at the suggestions after. I was like, oh. I think I vaguely remember hearing about it, but I was like, I like the original. I'm like, I have no desire to watch that.
Yeah, I don't think I even watched the remake. I don't think many people did, honestly.
Well, I mean, I don't understand why they remake classic movies that are within recent memory.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Noted.
If it's a movie that wasn't very good, I can see remaking it. I got it. Or if it's a classic movie that was from the 50s, so where most of your golden demographic has not watched it. You know what I mean? That's, I get it. But yeah, Jacob's Ladder's still in the golden demographic that the original is. So I don't understand whatever. I don't understand a lot of this movie marketing stuff, but whatever. That's where we're at. So, we will start off with Jacob's Ladder. Now, there's a whole lot of stuff happening. A lot of it is very visual, so I think the kind of the recap is going to be kind of short. Because it's mostly you witnessing what's happening, not really exposition or description of what's happening. So, essentially, we have Jacob, who is Tim Robbins, who the movie starts out and they're in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
They're hanging out, smoking weed as you do in Vietnam, and then they're attacked by something, and everybody's injured or having a seizure or dying or they're getting shot at. And then we cut to Tim Robbins he's wearing a male person's uniform, but he's not a male person.
Yeah, and this is only supposed to be, I had to look up what year this was supposed to be, right? Because it came out in 1990 and it's 1975. It's only been 5 years since the opening scene.
Right. But I mean, because he's wearing the uniform, but if you look at his shirt, it says vehicle repair.
Mm-hmm.
So he's apparently a mechanic that works for the post office. They never explain that. He's just wearing the uniform. I'm like, why? But that's why I figured it out. So, essentially he's, kind of, trying to go back to a normal life after, what happened. We learned that he was married, and he had 3 children,
mm-hmm.
one of which, the youngest one, died. Again, you don't figure that out until later on, but I'm just throwing it out there now. He left his wife and his kids. After that, I guess they couldn't stay married or whatever. I don't know what you call that.
Move past the trauma.
Yeah. So so he moves in with a woman from his work. And essentially, she's kind of more of a party girl or whatever. Anyway, so as he's just living his life, things start to creep in.
Mm-hmm.
Demon things and kind of evil looking stuff just kind of slowly creeps in and takes over, and he starts getting sick. He has a fit where he has a super high fever where they have to put him in a bathtub full of ice to calm him down, because he's kind of sort of dying from whatever is going on. Again, fast forward, kind of go through a lot of the stuff that's happening. He kind of reconnects with his old war buddies, and he finds out that they're all having the same things happen to them too. So they're all trying to figure out what's going on. The war buddies, they all go to a lawyer and they're like, yeah, we got to sue the government, we figure out what's going on. All of the other war buddies pull out, and they decide they're not going to do it. And they're all like
immediately.
Terrified. Right. And they're all like terrified of what's going on. And then they're gone for the rest of the film. So it's kind of a weird, like, it really feels like that's where the movie is going. And then it just cuts that whole plot line off.
Yep.
So essentially he's, living this weird world where, like, it seems like they're trying to get him in the hospital, and every time he goes in the hospital, it's like it gets darker and darker and weirder and weirder. And like there's people that have like weird sores on their head, or people that are like, kind of like these faceless like demons. They kidnap him one time, and he manages to like escape. Then they bring him to the hospital, and he's like going through like psych wards, and he's going through like, all these like weird amputee wards, and then there's just like bloody body parts all over the ground.
Yeah, all while having dreams of living back with his wife.
Right. Yeah, he's having dreams about living back with his wife. He's also flashing back to Vietnam, of like him actually getting stabbed by a bayonet, and like everybody getting bombed and shot and stuff. So as it goes on, like he gets saved by his chiropractor.
Yeah.
Who essentially is like, oh, it's just a slip disc, he's fine. So he gets him out of the hospital. He reconnects with this guy from the military who was a chemist, and he basically tells them that what happened to them was they weren't attacked by the enemy. They were attacked by their own men. Because they slipped this drug that they call the ladder into their weed supply. So when they smoked the weed, they basically like got super rage and just had to kill something, and they had to kill whatever was the closest thing. So they literally just attacked their own guys.
Yep.
And so the government was trying to like sweep that whole thing under the rug, and this chemist guy wanted to like let him know, because he knows he's going through some shit, and he wanted to tell him this is what really happened to you. And eventually he realizes that, I assume he realizes this. We don't find out until like the end, but he realizes that he's dead.
Yeah.
And he is in like, not hell, but in like a purgatory, right? And the angel kind of explains to him like, if basically what's happening to you is you're dying. So either you're going to see, your death, and like, you're losing your memories, losing your life, everything's going away. So either you're going to see that as a bad thing, like demons are literally tearing it away from you, or you're going to see it as a good thing, like angels are relieving you of all of your, worldly memories and stuff, so that you can ascend to heaven by yourself. So he basically figures out like, oh, okay, this is what's happening. So I need to like allow all this stuff to go away. And then he just like essentially walks up the stairs with his dead son to heaven.
Yeah. He was dying from the bayonet wound that he got.
Well, yeah. When he's dead at the end of the film, we find out he died in Vietnam. He never got out.
Correct. And all this was just a fever dream, essentially.
Correct. Yeah. It's all fake. Like I said, there's a lot of visual stuff of him seeing the demons and all these things that are happening, and again, sores on people's heads and heads shaking and faceless people and like all kinds of evil looking stuff. But again, it's
people getting blown up.
Right. Yeah, it's bizarre. There's a lot of weird, bizarre stuff going on, and again, you don't find out all this stuff until the end, essentially.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm just simplifying it, but yes. So it doesn't sound as confusing or spooky when I just tell you what happens, but as you are watching it for the first time, you will be probably a bit confused. I know I was, but I also watched this in like 1990 when it came out.
I mean, yeah, I can't tell you the first time I watched this movie. Honestly, I have no idea. But it's one of those things, like you said, it's essentially you're following Jacob through his fever dream and his dying memories. And he's like, okay, like one night goes to sleep, and he wakes up next to his wife and with his 2 kids. Next night he goes to sleep, and he's with this other woman. And like, okay, what's real, what's not? Then flashback to Vietnam. So it's like 3, parallel stories happening at the same time,
Right.
but all in his head.
Correct.
So, yeah, like I said, it is confusing. But yeah, I mean, at least they kind of tie it up at the end for it, so you kind of know exactly what it is instead of just kind of being left open to this vagueness that
Right.
a lot of people would do.
I think this type of movie, as it has evolved, they've slowly over time stopped explaining things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it's like take out essential plot information and then just like let it end and let you figure it out for yourself. And sometimes it's good, and I like that extra mystery, and sometimes it's bad because they don't give you enough.
Correct.
So like, yeah, you can, make up whatever you want and nobody's wrong because there is no right answer. And again, sometimes I like that, sometimes I don't.
Like I said, I think the most classic example that we use here is The Witch. We wish it ended actually a little bit earlier.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, like the end kind of gives it away, like, oh, it's, it was all real.
Yeah.
So we're like, if you ended it before that, it's like, what the fuck was that? What was real? What wasn't real? What even happened?
Right.
But yeah, I guess, yeah, the Vavitch is a good kind of comparison to Jacob's Ladder because they both kind of tie things up at the end. Confusing as shit while it's happening, but they tie it up at the end. Whereas like most, I think, modern movies in this vein just don't give you that closure. They just end it. And again, depending on the presentation, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, I mean, Flatliners, weird ending sometimes, right? It depends which version you watch. Yeah, we talk a lot too about like people that purposely take stuff out just to confuse you. Haha, you didn't see that coming. With our Lost people being the biggest.
Well, yeah, Damon Lindelof is again, I think he's gotten better over time, but there was several things that he did where he just like, oh, you know what'll make this better? Let's just take all the essential plot information out of this film. Mm-hmm. Like that's what he did with Prometheus.
Yep.
Is he literally just took out essential information and then like put heavy music over the exposition. Yep. So like you couldn't hear it and you didn't get information, so you're like, what is happening? But in the original film you did know what was happening. It was explained to you, but he took that out because he thought it would increase the mystery or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean you said mystery can go well or not well, just depends on how it goes. But do you want to do your highlights first?
I can, sure. So yeah, I mean, I like the kind of the Vietnam flashbacks. I mean, they're really kind of short scenes, but there's a big impact, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of them are like, repeated. And it's like, again, like Ving Rhames is like literally having a seizure. Yeah. like blood spewing out of his mouth, and he somehow survives. But a lot of the other people don't. It's an interesting scene, for sure. But I did like it.
Yeah.
I like the kind of the slow progression of like the monsters seeping in to his waking life. Mm-hmm. And then like he kind of ends up being like hunted, towards the end, and he's like, and we really don't know why. Like we don't know why those suit guys were trying to get him like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's just an interesting thing. I totally forgot that Macaulay Culkin was in this. Like a very young Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Like pre-Home Alone Macaulay Culkin. And again, like the whole experiment, the whole like ladder experiment, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Chester, he's a good boy. Right? That we barely get to see him in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Chester didn't do much, but
no.
he was a good boy.
Yeah. And this is kind of the inspiration for Silent Hill as a whole, and Silent Hill 2 especially, right? The whole idea of exploring the PTSD of Nam, because that's really what makes the movie seems like is he's suffering from PTSD from Nam, which, you understand. And I guess this movie was trying to get made for over 10 years. So maybe, that's why it would seem more relevant had it come out like 12, 13 years earlier, but still a good exploration into that. It's very surreal, and the hospital scene is just a mind trip, right? Like, you're like, how much of this is real? How much is it? Like, especially on your first watching of it. You know what I mean? Like, they are just, he slipped his disc, and he's in an insane asylum.
Yeah, he's like, they're slowly pushing you through like a psych ward that gets crazier and crazier, and then all of a sudden there's like psych patients in the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's like you're going through like this kind of hospital of horrors, and then literally there's just like bloody body parts all over the ground.
That
the
they're
walls are
rolling
covered
over.
in blood.
Yeah.
It's like it gets crazier and crazier.
It does. And of course, I have forgotten that George Costanza was in this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's George. And what, this is one of those movies that you do need to watch more than once. Because if you don't know it, then you kind of go through it for the second time and third time. Like, here's all the signs, right? Because they have, that horrible disco multi-floor apartment dance party, but the one saying, yeah, you're dead. Looking at his palm, you're dead. Which is interesting. There are signs kind of all along the way, but like I said, you don't get that the first viewing. So I appreciate that. And of course, the fat priest from Constantine is this, and this is the earliest movie I've seen him in.
The shifty guy. I know. Yeah, he's been in a ton of shit, but I have no idea what the first thing was. I mean, it's probably close to this.
Yeah, but he was obviously the guy in like Identity, so in Constantine. So he's kind of in that role of psychological weird movies, at least from I can recall him in.
He's got those shifty eyes. You can't really put him in like a rom-com.
You could, but that's all I got. All my low points, of course. Nam, war. And there's a lot of debate over whether government actually did stuff like this. We don't.
Well, yeah. Okay. So MK Ultra is real.
Yeah.
MK Ultra did happen. MK Ultra is a kind of twisted version of this.
Yes.
So, do I think that other things besides MK Ultra have happened? Of course they have.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because like I said, the whole idea was that it's like, you weren't even in Vietnam. You're like in Thailand. This is like all an experiment. Like,
well, no, they were. He was in Vietnam because he said that you have dishonorable discharge, and then literally later on in the movie, he unrolls his honorable discharge certificate. So that was just bullshit that the government was saying to discredit him. That wasn't true. They were in Nam. He was honorably discharged.
Okay.
They were saying that to throw the lawyer off the set.
Which worked.
Correct.
Yeah. And of course, I would never go to a dancing party like that, especially multiple floors. It just seemed loud and sweaty and annoying. I would not do that.
As a younger man, it was fun. I've been to parties like that, and it's a good time.
Yeah, and
now, no, I don't know.
And people, if you're gonna have a goat head, don't put it next to your beer.
No,
cross contamination. Come on, man.
All right, it was in a bag.
I that's true, but I didn't see any like beer yard being made, so I don't know what the goat head was for. And like I said, it's just like I said, you have to watch it multiple times. That's also kind of a slight negative because it's not like all in once, but it's good watch through all the way through a couple of times. That's what I have. How about you?
A magic chiropractor. You could have had him literally like anything else. A chiropractor is like, the fakest shit. Like any other medical profession would have been okay. A chiropractor saving you, it's
in the most comical way too.
Yeah, it's like whatever, and it played by Danny Aiello of all people. The life jumps, they're confusing, but they also are like cheesy, goofy, happy, and then they like hard cut to depressing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the fuck? Jezebel, who is his girlfriend, after his wife. She is all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, one second she's like supportive, and then the next scene she's literally like, you just do whatever the hell you want, but get out, Like, wow. Like, last scene you were worried that he was going to die, and now you just hate him? And they say, like, oh, 2 weeks have passed. I'm like, wow, it takes 2 weeks to get you to the point where you hate this guy? Like, she seems unstable. But yeah, hospitals are scary. So it doesn't take much for hospitals to be, like, terrifying. A little bit of, blood and guts and stuff, and it's like, yeah, this is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole heaven and hell aspect. I don't know. I feel like you could have left that out. I mean, and kind of explained it in a more universal way.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But I guess, whatever. You're going for your majority audience, so that's gonna work. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. So what are our olives this episode?
I couldn't really think of anything that these three movies have in common, so I just went with question marks.
Okay. I like it. You want me to go first?
Sure, if you want.
All right. I mean, this is a classic movie. Like it did it. Like I said, 28 years later to get a remake, unnecessary. And I think it's going to be kind of follow the same name with The Hand That Rocks the Cradle because people absolutely hated that too. So there's
the original one of that wasn't that great.
I know, but I'm saying like horror remakes as a whole, I would say 80% bad.
Yeah.
Like I said,
that might even be a little low.
Yeah. But like I said, this is a classic. Is it a perfect movie? No, but I will still give this a solid 8 question marks out of 10. How about you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm right about there. I'd say 8.25 for me. It's a good movie. It's one of those movies that I watched in 1990 when it came out, and it left an impression on me, because I was just a kid at the time. And then watching it as an adult, it's still just as good as I remember it. There's a lot of movies that it was great, and you watch it as an adult, and you're like, this is trash. What was I thinking? You just as a kid you have a different mindset, but this is like, I remember it for different reasons as a kid, but as an adult I respect the whole movie. Mm-hmm. Instead of just the freaky parts that I liked as a kid. So, 8.25. All right. So now we're moving on to John dies at the end, which I don't think you've seen before, right?
Correct. Because, spoiler alert, he doesn't.
Well, yeah, but I figured this would be a movie that you would enjoy.
Oh, for sure. This is the right type of zany movie for me. But yeah, I'll kind of go. There's essentially you have let's call it the present timeline or the wrapper, right? Where it's Dave talking to Paul Giamatti saying, hey, yeah, there's this drug. I'm kind of psychic and I'm going to prove to you all this stuff. He talks about his change in his pocket, the dreams he had. But he's like, I got to tell you the story where it all began. So flashback. I don't know how long ago it was. They don't exactly say.
He says 2 years.
2 years? Yeah.
I feel like that's too much, but he does say 2 years.
I concur. This is kind of like that weird trippy stuff too. Like we find out that essentially, Dave and his friend John are fighters against the paranormal evil, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, they're trying to help people that are seeing ghosts, that are having all these things because they have this drug called they call the soy sauce because it's black and it kind of moves like a symbiote, essentially. But so you go through this stuff and you essentially get ESP and you get all these other powers temporarily. So while you're high, because it does get you high, you have these as side effects. But essentially, we find out that where the party originally started, there was a guy there that was handing out. It's like, hey, I'll get you a beer, I'll teach you all this stuff. But like, all people died violently while they're at that party, and so John and Dave get questioned by the cops. Like, you guys are like the only people left alive from this. Like bodies have exploded. There's just gore and just so many people dead. And so like they're trying to be interrogated by the cops, and they find out like, oh, yeah, John is dying as well, and he technically, I guess, dies. But while he's driving his friend to the hospital during this high, he put the needle into his pocket and it accidentally poked himself. So he started to feel kind of the side effects too, where there's like one guy in the interrogation room that's not actually there. And then John calls him. He's like, yeah, am I dead yet? Yeah, cool. Here's how you escape. Just walk out. Pick up this bratwurst, and I can talk to you through this bratwurst. I'm just kind of psychically calling you from the future. So he's kind of freaking out, and eventually makes his way back to the guy's house that sold all the soy sauce and all that stuff. He finds like just a huge dose of it. And it kind of like comes out as bugs, and one goes into his mouth and buries through his cheek. So he's like super high at this point in time, and is able to see and like alter the past, where he goes to like the bullet making company, where like one detective's going to come there and ends up shooting him. But because he went in the past and like said boo, there's a fly instead. So he's got loaded essentially a blank, and so the cop shoots him, and yeah, that's not cool. But yeah, the cop goes into his backstory. Essentially, he saw there's this one dude that was there that kind of survived, but like he is now essentially severe locusts or bugs that can eat through people, and he's just trying to spread through any means necessary. He's going to go to a populated area to explode on people. And he's like, I'm just burning this place down because there's evil in the world. But essentially, they end up getting like kidnapped and make their way to the mall. Guys like, yeah, I'm going to spread and seed everywhere. All of a sudden, this girlfriend appears out of nowhere, and like, yeah, there's a ghost door here. So like, hey, you guys got to go through it. They trick the guy to go outside. The cop kills him, sets him on fire. Like, yeah, we need you to go and kill this alternate dimension Korok, who's like a super biological computer. The best way to kind of describe it. And like alternate history that happened like 150 years ago that put that universe onto that path. Like, yeah, you guys are special, so he needs to eat you. Oh, by the way, Clancy Brown gave you this bomb to destroy him. The good boy that he is takes the bomb and blows up himself and Korok, and they escape through the other dimension. Cop, it kind of explodes into this animal, and yeah, they determine that they're going to fight evil wherever they see fit. And that's what their mission is. That's how they got into that business. Flashback to Paul Giamatti's character. He's like, yeah, well, I was told to do all this stuff because, I'm a black guy. He's like, wait, you're a black guy? Yeah, that's not how I see you. Oh, you're dead. You're only here because I imagined you, so your entire existence is based on my imagination. And they end up with Dave and John playing basketball to a different dimension. Like, we need your help. You're here to save us. Like, yeah, we got to go get some things. And I just alluded to that they're just like, yeah, we're not coming back. And a lot of weirdness that happens, but it's pretty much the gist. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Again, it's like I said, a lot of these things are visual experiences.
Yeah.
So if you don't have, the visual, you can't see it. I mean, we can sit here and describe it for 20 minutes, but it's not going to do it any much better than just giving you a simplified version of what it is.
Yeah. Essentially, think the best way to describe it is a horror version of Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah. But it's just, it confuses the shit out of you because there's like a lot of like time jumping and a lot of like character jumping and a lot of, it's just like, and then later on they start like crossing dimensions and shit. It's like, what the fuck is going on? So
it feels like 6 short stories crammed into one movie that are just jumping over the place.
Correct, but there's no like story that's from beginning to end. They're all like cut up and pasted back together.
Yeah, because we have flashbacks within flashbacks.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is my first time seeing it, and like I said, it kind of reminds me of like Grimm or Evil or just like a meta. Like I said, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, just because it does jump over the place. You're just going, what is the through line here? There isn't one. Okay. But, do you recall the first time you watched this?
I saw it right after it came out.
Okay.
A friend of mine had told me about it. I forgot. I don't remember how he had heard about it. I think one of the writers or somebody involved with the movie was like involved in Cracked in some way. If you remember the old Cracked website back when it was good.
I think the writer of the book, because the director of this was the creator of Phantasm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember exactly, so don't quote me on that. But that's how I heard about it, and I watched it. It was fun. You know, it was surprisingly more. It was way more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be one of those like, you know, self-serving, fully yourself, fucking, you know, kind of movies like this that think they're way better than they are.
The ultra cheesy.
Right. But no, it's got the right level of cheese. Yeah, there's cheese and goofy stuff happening, but it doesn't take itself too seriously, and it does it well.
Correct.
And it also doesn't try to call in other franchises or other, you know, fans of other things like these movies almost always do, because they're like grasping for fans. Yeah. This one, it just does it by itself, and you can tell they didn't have a whole lot of money to do it, but they made do it what they had, and I think they did a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will go first for my highlights. You know, I'd say Dave and John are not big name people, but they actually do a great job, and they surround themselves with people that you actually know, like Clancy Brown, barely in it, but you know who he is. Paul Giamatti.
Right.
Doesn't seem like Paul Giamatti would be in this movie.
Right. Yeah, especially around that time, because I think that was like around the time of Sideways.
Yeah.
When he was like a really big star. Yeah, so it's odd.
Yeah. So I think it's good. Of course, the good doggo is being a good boy. Like I said,
his name was Barkley.
Barkley. That's the dog's real life name too.
Yes, it is.
Like Bark, Barklee. Yeah, which is great. Like I said, the humor is pretty funny. Like Dave changes his name to Wong. Like, you're not Asian, right? But it's the most common surname in the world.
Right.
It's just crazy enough to work. So it's very bizarre, but like I said, in the perfect way. And I was debating watching this, like, would I take the soy sauce? Would it be worth it to have those powers? It might be.
I mean, yeah, they seem like they ended up okay.
Yeah.
And they said the powers last like forever. It was just like the high wears off.
Yeah. So I'm like, I think I would, but you know, the soy sauce has to choose you. You can't just, you know, expect to be good with it, supposedly. Like I said, and yeah, as I said, it doesn't draw attention to a lot of stuff. And like I said, it's just perfectly zany, like the alternate universes, the history that happens. It's like interesting. And it's almost like a Sliders-esque type feel too. So I really enjoy that.
Right.
But that's what I got. How about you?
Yeah. So I like the intro. I thought the intro was fun, where it's like they essentially give you the riddle of the ship of Theseus in an axe, right? So like, yeah, you break the handle of the axe, so you have to replace the handle after you kill somebody, and then you break the blade, so then you have to replace the blade, and then the guy comes back and says, "Hey, that's the axe that killed me." Like, is that true? Like, it's both pieces of the axe have been replaced since it killed you. Is that true? Again, it's just the ship of Theseus riddle, but it's done in a fun way. And that's literally the intro that you get. It's like he killed like a zombie skinhead with the hatchet. And yeah, Clancy Brown as Marconi is hilarious, because not only that, but he has an accent. I think he only has an accent like half the time.
I can't even place the accent.
It's like a weird like Italian, heavy European, but like in the beginning he doesn't have an accent.
Correct.
And he only has one at the end. I'm like, did he just decide he needed an accent? And they're just like, whatever, he's Clancy Brown, do whatever you want.
Probably.
But I mean, it's fun. The part that I like is it's bizarre, and it's kind of over explanation of things that don't need to be over explained. It's like they go on these long explanations of like how things ended up that way, and really you don't need to know it at all.
Right.
And it's just fun. They send you on these like little adventures. That's good. Anyway, Barkley he's on my list too. I like Barkley, was great. And he saved the world. He risked his life and saved the world. Well, sacrificed his life even.
Yeah.
And again, the dead mall. I love dead malls for some reason. Like, but it's like a dilapidated kind of collapsing mall, and I find those fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there used to be one even when I was a kid. So this is back in, the late '80s. There was a dead mall near me. And it was only the one end of the mall had the arcade and the movie theater, but it was $1 movie theater back. I don't think they even have those anymore.
No.
They had the $1 movie theater, the second run movie theater, and then that was it. The whole rest of the mall was empty. It was just, and the arcade and the theater were right across the walkway from each other, and the whole rest of that mall was empty. But it was open; you could walk around in there, but it was just gone. Anyway, I always thought it was fascinating.
Yeah. All right. We had one of those by us, and the last store was like Macy's. Like, it's a mall I grew up in, like going to in the 90s, and just watching it just die was really interesting.
Yeah. There was technically two by me, but one of them had an anchor store that was like, keeping it around.
Yeah.
But I guess, the dead one, it was like an arcade and the $1 movie theater. And as soon as those things started phasing out, which didn't take long, the whole thing was gone.
Yeah.
And now it's a Home Depot.
Sounds about right.
Or a Menards or something like that.
Yeah.
One of those things. They bought the whole mall, and so like the whole back end of the mall is just like storage or something. But that's all I got for high points. So low points. You want me to roll my whole low points?
Yeah.
Okay. So John's band was terrible.
Yes.
Wow. And there's like a whole scene where they keep playing terribly in the background. It's like, okay, you can stop anytime. Okay, that he like puked up a cockroach. That was fucking disgusting. I mean, some of the FX is like ridiculously bad. I mean, like, again, you could tell all the money went into the actual filming of the movie, and then like they had like $20 left over for CGI.
I think it all with Paul Giamatti and
yeah,
Brown.
Exactly. So like the CGI is horrible. It's 2012, so that's like they have decent CGI out there. It's just they didn't have the money for it.
Yeah.
There's like the flying mustache, the giant Korax, the space thing, the dimension monster. All these things are like just ridiculously terrible looking. But it still works in the realm of the movie. It's more funny than it is, because the movie is a comedy anyway, so it's okay that it's bad.
Right.
It's not bad in the way that it's trying to be serious about it. So
Right. Yeah.
Then of course that Justin trying to be a fake gangster was just annoying. I did not like him.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. I mean, let me ask you this: would you consider that axe to be an axe or more of a hatchet?
It's a hatchet.
Yeah, I'm like that's a hatchet.
My hatchet is a little axe.
Yeah, this is not like this is like a single-handed weapon that he had. So yeah, it's a hatchet. But like I said, I did like that. But yeah, I said the band sucks hard. The full out three-arm Sally. Yeah, like they were trying to be like garage punk from the 80s, but just failed horribly at it. That's how I viewed it, but yeah, I kept playing it, and I said bad CGI is bad. Like I said, some of the effects, like the practical body effects, were decent, but when they used CGI, it was just atrocious. Like, we're talking like levels of that the weed caterpillar from Freddy vs. Jason style bad, but 9 years later. Maybe Don Casarelli used all his money that he made from this to make Phantasm 5, which is like $25. Yeah, that's about all I got. So why don't you go first? How many question marks out of 10 do you give this movie?
I mean, it's fun. It's worth watching again. I don't know how often I would rewatch it, but it's fun. So I'll give it it's a 7, just an even 7.
Yeah, like I said, this was my first time seeing this, and like I said, I like the wife walked in when I was watching. She's like, "What are you watching?" I think it's a movie you thoroughly enjoy, just because it's the right level of cheese for you, and it has the right ideas behind it. And I said the wrapper was beautifully shot. It's like the most well lit, Chinese restaurant we had in the entire movie. Like all the money went there.
Well, Paul Giamatti probably brought his own people.
Probably. I'm right about that. I think this is a fun rewatch. I will give it 7.5 question marks out of 10. But I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah, well, I knew you would like it. I picked that one for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now, we're moving on to Mandy. Now, this one, I don't know if you're gonna like this one or if you do like this one. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting. But that's just me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
plot-wise, half the movie isn't much.
No. It's more of a visual thing. Like, there's like a lot of visual stuff and there's a lot of like monologues,
Yes.
which are like not a lot of information is conveyed. It's more of just like getting you in the right emotional state to like experience what they want you to see, I guess. But yeah, that's essentially all it is. So, it's Nicolas Cage is a lumberjack. And he has a house like in the middle of the woods, and he lives with his wife.
Yeah, and mind you, this is 1983.
Yeah, 1983. So he lives with his wife. So lumberjack, she is like an artist, but she also works at like the grocery store or something. So I mean, she's
going to be a starving artist. Come on.
Yeah. So, they kind of, get like how, they enjoy their life together, they're happy and whatever, and love and bliss and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, Mandy, who is the wife, she is walking to town one day, and this cult people, like literally there's a cult leader with his cult following. They see her on the side of the road, and the cult leader decides that he needs her for his cult.
Yep.
So he summons right? Summons like these evil like S&M like biker leather daddies.
But very armored.
Yes. And they go in and essentially capture Nicolas Cage and Mandy. There's a long monologue where the cult leader drugs Mandy and is trying to like convince her that she wants to be with him and that she belongs in his cult. And she just like laughs at how stupid he is.
He gets very upset by
He gets
that.
very upset, and he puts her in a sleeping bag and then lights her on fire. And Nicolas Cage is like literally tied up with barbed wire and is forced to watch it.
Well, the darker the horror, the lighter the
Right.
The brighter the
So
fire.
he's tied up with barbed wire, and they actually like stab him in the ribs, like expecting him to die, and they leave him there, and he does not die. He lives. So then he, swears vengeance, and he like forges his own axe. That I'm pretty sure the axe was like designed by H.R. Giger, because it's a bizarre looking evil axe.
Well, even the axe handle is just a giant spear.
Right. Yeah. It's an interesting looking axe for sure. So he goes to Bill Duke and gets his crossbow that only has 2 arrows. And then he finds the evil S&M biker people, and then goes and kills one of them, I guess, and then crashes his car, and then he's captured by them. He wakes up and then breaks out of his handcuffs, and then just murders all of them.
Yeah, the next hour and a half of the movie is him murder.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I should say there's a halfway point in the movie, right? The halfway point is literally when he watches his wife die, and then he swears vengeance.
Yeah.
And then we have Cheddar Goblin. And then there's the rest of the film. So like Cheddar Goblin is literally the halfway point of the movie. It's 2 hours long, so after an hour we get Cheddar Goblin. So he kills all those kind of people. He finds out that they're all taking drugs made by this chemist guy. He goes to the chemist guy. The chemist guy gives him a long monologue, essentially tells him to go where to find the people. He goes there, he kills them all, and that's it.
One by one.
Yeah. But there's no more story after that. It's just him. There's a lot of weird visual stuff.
Yeah.
That's happening. Like his whole like walking down into where the cult leader guy is like, I don't know, a 15-minute long scene.
Yeah.
Of like all this weird shit going on all around and him just getting down there. But like as far as story explanation goes, that's
Nick Cage pretty much has no lines the second half of the movie.
It's just vengeance and murder, and that's it.
Yep.
There is a chainsaw duel in there. So it's he just murders everybody one by one. He like stabs the one dude in the mouth. I think he lets the younger girl go.
And he lets the chemist live, which is surprising for a Richard Brack cameo.
Well,
essentially,
the chemist is just selling drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if you're a drug dealer, you can't really be selective about who you're selling drugs to.
I'm sure the cult was a big clientele for him, though.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. But like, again, he's selling drugs to everybody. Like he knows that they fucked up. He knows things are going wrong. He has a tiger for some reason.
He lets free.
That he lets free after having a conversation with himself. It's like I said, it's a bizarre movie that a lot of weird stuff is happening, but it's fun. Well, I think it's fun.
It's the perfect Nick Cage movie for Nick Cage to be
correct. There's a lot of Nick Cage freakouts. Like, so if you like those kind of things, you will like this movie, period.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as explanation, that's about it.
Yeah. And for me, once again, this is my first time watching this, and visually it reminds me a bit of like the Color Out of Space, the first half.
Yeah everything's like washed in purple, like that. Yeah,
and very psychedelic. And like I said, the second half is that essentially exploitation revenge story from the 70s.
Right. Yeah, correct.
Yep. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is did you watch this when it came out just because it's Nick Cage?
I watched it when it came out. Somebody had talked about it. I don't remember. I think I heard on a podcast that like somebody was talking about it. And it sounded so bizarre to me that I'm like, okay, I got to watch it. And I just watched it. Yeah. So it was around when it came out.
Nice. You want to go first? You want me to go first for highlights?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Cheddar Goblin. Cheddar Goblin is fucking hilarious to me. It's a macaroni and cheese commercial, like made like extra stupid and cheesy, and it's literally like a Cheddar Goblin that throws up macaroni and cheese on children, and they love it. It's bizarre but funny. And it just cuts the movie in half. So we just got done watching his wife burn to death and him break out of being, tied up and stabbed with barbed wire. And then he goes inside and watches Cheddar Goblin commercial.
Yep.
And then we go into the second half of the movie where he decides to murder everybody.
Yep.
So it's a great segue, I think. The Mad Max Demon Bikers are fun. Like we get kind of like their mythology, right? But we don't find out what the fuck was really going on there, which is interesting. Like, how do you summon them with like a devil whistle if they're really just drugged up bikers? There's more going on there, but again, there's a lot of that stuff happening.
Yeah.
There's these like kind of fun animated sequences in there, and they're really kind of like heavy metal-esque, I would say, and they're not very long, but they're interesting. They're fun little additions.
In my headcanon, these are cartoons and drawings that she made, that Mandy made.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar to her vibe. Yeah.
Right.
It's Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage. Lots of like screaming and freaking out. Yeah, it's fun. So if you like that kind of stuff, you'll love this movie. Again, his axe, again, like I said, I'm pretty sure it was designed by like Giger, because it looks ridiculous, but and he like forges it himself out of pure metal.
And it looks nice and clean too.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a professional.
Of course.
The chemist I thought was fun. It's just like a weird scene for him to be there. and then that's it. He's just done. He doesn't even get killed. He just licks LSD off his fingers, and then
I mean, I know you are a Brack lover.
Break, whatever
Break.
his name is. Yes, I am a fan of his. I do like him. The chainsaw duel was great. It really kind of reminded me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yep.
Where Dennis Hopper was chainsaw fighting with Leatherface. It's kind of the same vibe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I thought the effects were good, like the blood effects and and all the crazy blood explosions and everything was happening. That looked pretty cool.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, he said I agree with everything you said. It's very unhinged. It is great gore. The cast was great in everything they did. The visuals, it's like I said, it reminded me of like a H.P. Lovecraft-esque vibe to it. I did enjoy the cartoons, and then, of course, the chainsaw fight. He's like, oh, he's a lumberjack. That's why he can use a chainsaw. Cool. And then like with the fight and like the guy getting the ridiculously long chainsaw out, and them just having that, shorter normal sword versus like the two-handed sword Knights of the Round essentially, and and just taking it out. And yeah, like I said, it's interesting. There's a lot of long scenes, and they work well. Like, how long did it take for the guy to stare into the camera and do the monologue? Like, how many takes do you think that took?
I don't know, because it's a long monologue.
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know, at least 5 minutes long, but that's a long time if you're just staring into a camera and speaking.
Right. So, I just, as someone who, makes movies, I'm like, I wonder how they did that. Like, if he just had it there, or if they just said, do what you want and just go with it. Both are hard to do. So I appreciate that. That's all that. I roll in my low points. Cults are bad, of course.
What?
I know. And the movie needs to have seizure warning, at least, because there's a lot of flashing lights. Like, you could have like one point of view where it's flashing, but the bottom point of view not. So it's like that waist barrier, like everything above the waist normal, everything that's happening below the waist flashing green, let's say. I like that he, after he fights those bikers, he's like, oh look, there's this mirror with cocaine, I'll just snort that on my revenge rampage. Oh look, here's this jar of liquid, let me taste it. No, I wouldn't do that. Like, he smelled it and like, and they put his finger in it, like just touched the, like his finger just touched his tongue. He just went on a huge acid trip, like really fast. But I wouldn't just, lick a unknown substance in the jar.
You sure?
I'm positive of that. Yeah.
Especially if it's like, it looked like gray, like wallpaper paste.
That it did. It almost like varnish.
Yeah, it was like that. It's like, yeah, it was like gray peanut butter.
Yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't do that. That's really all I have. How about you?
So yeah, the cult folks are not cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them at all. I thought it was funny that they just like gave up their kind of young doe-eyed person to the Mad Max Demon Bikers to just get these two people, which was funny.
Yeah.
His goofy suit, it's like a bathrobe cult leader suit. Like,
yeah.
It's literally a bathrobe, but it's got like weird pillow arms and stuff on it. It looks ridiculous. His drug monologue, like, it's a good performance, but it is creepy.
Yes.
And it's like it's got the weird like drug kind of like super purple wash over it, and it's like constantly flipping back to like him and her, and like sometimes his face is like morphing into different shit and stuff. It's like literally showing you going through like a drug trip. Yeah, it's just it messes with your brain.
Yep.
Yeah, Burning Alive. That is horrible. I can't imagine a worse way to go.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And, of course, drugs are bad. Don't do drugs.
No matter what the jar looks like.
That's correct.
All right. Like I said, I'll go first, I guess, with question marks. Like I said, you said you weren't sure if I was going to like this movie or not. I think it's great. I think it's completely unhinged. It's definitely at least a good once or twice watch movie. Not often because it is long, but it's good. So I will give this. Man, 7.95 question marks out of 10. How about you?
Yeah. I'll go 8.3.
Ooh, better than Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, I was trying to make that determination here. Is like, which one of these do I like the best? And I think it's Jacob's Ladder. It's Jacob's Ladder is something you can watch every couple of years. Mandy, I said once or twice, and you're pretty much good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But that's where I'm at. That's where I feel.
all right.
Anything else you want to add there?
Now take us home.
All right. So, yeah, that's all for the month of Salem. I know. We're all disappointed. Next week, we're back to the slop. So we're doing a catch-up episode for some of the movies that are addendums to previous shows we've done. Unfortunately, there was a Conjuring movie and a Hell House movie that came out this year. But you know what? A VHS movie did come out. So VHS was good. I watched it. I'll watch it again.
Oh, for sure.
I enjoyed it the first time. I have no problem watching it the second time. The other two I have not seen. Unfortunately, we are watching them this week. I'm not looking forward to those. I mean, maybe they'll be great and surprise me. I just kind of doubt it.
I can't wait for you to see the new superpowers Lorraine gets in the last rites.
Oh, don't. Anyway, we will see you next week. So remember, we watch bad movies so you don't have to.
And this has been Graveyard saying, have you checked on the children?
This is Salem saying, long live the new...